Hello and welcome to the Turn Up the Radio podcast, where we discuss our favorite indie and alternative bands with new episodes every other Friday. I'm Dan.
And I'm Mike. We have some exciting segments for you guys today, such as New Music Friday, indie and pop culture, and more.
Enjoy the show. All right.
We're on?
Yep.
Happy rainy Sunday in April.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's The only thing adding to it is the fact that it's freezing as well.
All right, dude. Segment time.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start?
I think we'll kick it off here with band news.
Tell me what you got.
Well, one of our favorite bands in high school, I would say, Mumford & Sons, came out with their new album, Rushmere. I don't know if you were tracking that or not.
I was tracking that I wrote Rushmore on all my notes until today, realizing it said Rushmere.
Yeah. Do you know what Rushmere is?
I don't, actually.
I think it's a lake or a pond in England where they
Oh, that makes sense.
grew up.
It sounds like an English word.
Yeah.
Rushmere. It's their first one since 2018. It's the longest between their studio albums.
Yep.
I have not finished listening to it yet.
I haven't either.
Okay.
To
I've
be
heard
fair.
two songs.
The single?
The two singles, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Rushmere and Malibu.
Me too.
I did read some stuff about it, just kind of prepping for this episode. And judging by the two singles and from what I've read, it's a return to form of like the Mumford & Sons that you and I love.
Yeah.
That they kind of evolved out of a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even listen to the one from 2018. I had pretty much given up on them.
I was checked
At
out
that
on them
point.
by the time that one came out. I did kind of get into the Wilder Mind from 2015.
Yeah.
Not at first, because I was hoping for their usual sound. But after a while, like The Wolf and Believe and songs like that, I really got into that one after a while. But yeah, I was kind of checked out on them by the time Delta came out.
Yeah, I tried to listen to the 2015 one, and there was no banjo, so I was checked out.
Now there's definitely no banjo. Well, there's a banjo now, but
Well, and you know what happened to him?
yeah, the controversy.
Yeah. So-
I'm glad that they continued. If Mumford & Sons had died with that controversy, it would have been a shame.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I don't know. There could be a conversation on whether or not the controversy should have led to him getting kicked out of the band.
I think I want to say he left like on his own accord, just citing like he didn't feel comfortable like not being able to exercise his free speech and probably dealing with like cancel culture. I also think the backlash from his band members.
Yeah.
I know Marcus talked about like the impact it had on them and like their families because they were tied into that as well.
Yeah.
So a hiatus after that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, and then he went and did his own stuff. Marcus Mumford.
Yeah, he did.
made his own album.
He also did something solo with Pharrell.
I saw that too. I haven't listened to that either. I
Like
wonder
I
if
said-
it's Pharrell as like a producer or as a singer.
I probably either both or definitely producing. Hearing that this is kind of a return to form for them, and especially after everything that happened, I'm super excited to listen to this album. Are we going to see them on tour is the question, because I owe you a Mumford & Sons concert.
Yeah.
I won't get
Are
the
they
flu
coming?
this time. They announced the tour. I haven't looked at the dates in the cities, but they've got to
Okay.
be coming somewhere close. It probably Star Lake, which
Ugh.
yeah, I think I would pass if it was
They
there.
did PPG maybe.
Maybe. I feel like the outdoor pavilion type
Yeah.
is more their vibe, especially if they're back on this.
I'd love to see them in a festival, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. But
Like a
I
sh-
would want them to play stuff from Babel and Sigh No More anyway.
But I think
personally.
a full length tour, you'd have a better chance than if they did like an
That's
hour
true.
set at a festival, because they'd probably
That's
mix
true.
in. I mean, they'd be playing the Cave and stuff. That's like their big.
I will
songs.
wait. That one was huge too.
Yeah, I think that was their biggest song, but I could never figure out which one I liked more.
I like The Cave.
I like Lover of the Light.
Real? Oh,
I think
dude.
that might be my favorite.
And
song
you've
by
seen the
them.
music video, right? Yeah, that
Incredible
one is
song.
awesome. And Little Lion Man. I mean, those were the first two I heard. So
White Blank Page.
Oh,
good
that
one as
song
well.
is beautiful.
Yeah.
And just Babel. That one never got any recognition, but I love that song.
That was great just because we would drive around the cabin, and that was the first one that we had the CD.
And it's got such a good downbeat to
Yep.
it.
That song transports me back to like driving around Uncle Jim's in Uncle Jim's truck, like around the cabin.
Me too.
I'm like transported right back there every time.
I did have that the album's only 35 minutes long.
Yeah, which for me is, I think that's a good way to like, after, what is it, 7 years of not releasing like a full length project, like you don't want to drop like a 2 hour to do. I think
No.
35 minutes, like dip your toes back in, see how it goes, and then kind of go from there. They might even drop like, you know, like an extended cut.
Yeah.
Like a special edition type deal.
Yeah, Peach Pit just did that. They're like releasing a B tracks album for the album they just released.
I love like when they do like the special edition and it's like outtakes and, you know, like original version stuff like that. I
Yeah.
love when artists do that.
Demos. Hippocampus is big with that too. They release a lot of their demos.
Was it? Oh yeah, Hippocampus was. Oh no, who am I thinking of? Two Door Cinema Club did that with their one popular album.
Oh,
Because we've had the conversation. Something Good Can Work. I like the original one, and you like the actual
oh
album one.
yeah. What is that album called? Oh my gosh.
It's not 19. What is? It's not 19.
No.
I'm looking right now.
Okay.
Because I have to know. That's one that I would love to see live, like that band.
We should maybe do that album eventually.
Oh, we absolutely should.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
Just
I have
put
it upstairs. I'm pretty sure.
what you know in S tier right now. What we're
Yes.
talking about.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Tourist history.
Yeah. I could see it. I could picture it so clearly.
Oh yeah, I can hear it and see it in my mind.
You have anything else on Mumford & Sons' new album?
Not until I listened to it.
Yeah, same here.
I just thought like I didn't realize how long it had been until they released a full length project. I also thought they were done. Like to
I
be
did
quite
too.
honest with you,
Yeah.
I hadn't really paid enough attention to like the solo stuff from Marcus or
I saw it. I
some of the
did see he
singles.
was making it.
Like I said, after that 2018 album, I kind of checked out from them in general.
Yeah. After 2015, I did. So, yeah, it's
Yeah,
nice to see him back.
Yeah, I'm excited to give it a listen, and yeah, I'm excited just to have them back as well.
I guess going on to New Music Friday.
me
What'd you
what you
have
got.
for that?
Whoa. All right. I'll go first. This one was a bit strange for me. I found a song by Kellen Christopher Cragg.
Nice.
I might have
Okay.
butchered all of
We're
that.
all C.
We have KCC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we have a Kellen with a K, Christopher like Christopher, and Cragg, Cragg.
Okay.
It hit me as like kind of like a TikTok artist, but I think that's doing him a disservice.
Oh.
He is 18 years old, based out of Minneapolis. So
Oh, nice.
Good
Maybe he
Music
knows
City.
Hippocampus.
maybe so. And he does all of the lyrics and instruments himself.
Nice.
He's self-taught on all of the instruments that he plays. The song, he just dropped his first album, but the song that caught me was "Why Did You Go?" It is a more like, it's a very atmospheric song. That's why it's right up my alley. Sounds like it would be a good breakup song. It's one of those ones, but
How's like the production on it and everything? Since it's his first one, he's young. Like, could you tell?
not really. I listened to it before I like read up on him. So when
I see.
my first listen, I was just like, oh, another like normal indie artist. Just wasn't thinking too much, but re-listening to it afterwards, you can kind of tell, but
Yeah.
it doesn't lower the quality of the song. in my
Sometimes it
opinion.
actually adds to it, in my opinion. Honestly.
Similar to the first 21 Pilots self-titled. Where,
Yes,
like the rawness
exactly.
adds to like the story and the atmosphere of the song.
Or the first Rat Rodeo cover.
The first of many rap radio
Yes,
covers.
absolutely.
Yeah, it dropped 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
It is 15 songs, 47 minutes. The one that I picked is it's like not even 2 minutes. I think it's a lot of those kind of songs.
Okay.
But I feel like he gets a lot done in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And some of the things that he says, it's really great. Do you want to give it a listen and then come back and talk about it?
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's do it. All right, so why did you go Kellen Christopher Cragg? I hope I'm saying Kellen right.
That's probably right.
Kellen?
Yeah.
Cullen.
I like that. I would like to hear the raw files because it's like the vocals are so layered.
Yeah.
So he probably has one that's like, and one that's like
I feel
way
like
low.
There's a lot of effect to it that for me adds to it. So
Yeah.
none of that like affects me. But I like some of the lyrics. Like I was just trying to make it out. It's funny how the tables twist. I got turned around and pushed off a cliff. It's a very good like breakup-y song.
Yeah. No, and
Which-
he's got a good voice. I would say it sounds a little muddled to me, like the instruments.
Yeah.
It sounds a little bit like on top of each other, maybe. But
I have such a respect for somebody that just does it all.
oh yeah,
Like for me, that's incredible that he like taught himself to play all of that, and then played it as nobody else. I'm sure he has help, like maybe with production and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't. It hits different on a night drive home
yeah,
for sure.
No, I could see that, and I like the organ. I think
Yeah.
it is that he has.
The
in there.
sound of the piano, I don't know how to describe
Yeah.
that sound, but like Max used that on a few songs, and like it sounds so good to me. It's my
Yeah.
favorite sound like of a piano. But yeah, I do like. I'm gonna check out the rest of the album. I do sometimes like a quick hit, just like
Yeah.
a 2 minute, 2.5 minute, just get in, get out. I'm all right with that.
Yeah,
I'm usually a long song Magoo, but
depends for me.
I've also been trying to figure out like the album cover.
Yeah, I did like the album cover. It looks
I
like
li-
an Italian restaurant or something to me.
Yeah, like a surprise birthday or something. I don't know. I just got to be a story behind that.
Yeah.
I gotta know. But yeah, man, I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, the song I had, it's called "The Itch" by RC Drive. Now, I had heard one RC Drive song before, but I just found this on my release radar, and it blew me away. So
I like that. That's also where I got this song.
Yeah.
on the release. Well, not even release radar. If you go to new releases and scroll down, he has like the section. There's like all new indie, all new rock.
oh, yeah,
Have
I
you
never
seen
knew
those?
that. No,
You should check those out.
I
It
usually
literally
just use my release radar.
that like goes off of like your likes and stuff. I think this one does similar, but it just goes by genre. So it's all new
Okay.
indie, all new pop, all new rock, and I go through those to see like the new music in each genre that's come out. Mm-hmm. I've been finding a lot of great songs through that. But you said
The
RC
Itch.
Drive,
Yep.
The Itch. Sick. I typed in RC, the letter R, the letter C.
No.
Sorry, RC. Only 300,000 listens.
Yeah, I guess I could have done this for Hidden Gem Highlight, but
You could have done it for anything.
yeah, that's true.
Should I give it a listen?
Yep. All right, let's spin it real quick. All right, that was The Itch by RC Drive. What'd you think of it?
ARCY Drive, by the way.
Yes.
Also, I love that I commented on the 3,000 listens. It literally came out just recently. So,
Oh,
on
it
me
has
for
that
that.
many already.
yeah. No, dude, I absolutely fucked with that. I love easygoing songs like that. I like the part where he's like, "Cop, listen, I'm just a waste away."
Mm-hmm.
I also like songs that like kind of build. That bass line was fucking catchy.
I love a break like that. What do you think of his voice? His voice just captivated me.
It
The way he
reminded-
sings it,
It
like
reminded me of someone, and I can't think of who, but it always, a lot of voices in songs like always tie me back to something else.
but his phrasing, I like how he's like, yeah. Like
He has a great like indie rock voice.
Yeah.
It's like perfect for that genre.
and they released a live version on YouTube like within the first week, dude,
Fuck
and
yeah.
it's phenomenal. Honestly,
Is it like a studio session or is it?
yeah, just a little acoustic session.
Oh,
Like,
that's so great.
yeah.
I just love the little like and the guitar. Yeah, that was sick, dude. I'll have to check out the rest of that album for sure.
Yeah, me
They
too.
sound like they have a good vibe about them. New Musica Friday. When did that come out? Is that like is that?
Yeah, within the last couple weeks. I think it was on my release radar last week.
Oh, March 7th. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess
Also,
within the month now.
Nah, it's good enough. When you originally took these notes, it was probably fresh.
Yeah, that's okay.
Off the press.
Um,
Yeah, man. All right, first time listening. I don't know,
yeah,
this one always excites me the most. I
dude,
love picking out songs for us to hear.
I wrote this song first, and I have changed it 10 times, and I came back. Like, not the 10 different songs, like 4 different songs, and I'm back to the original one.
If only we had more episodes for you to share the rest.
I know.
That
We'll
sucks.
get
It's
there.
our last episode ever today.
The band is the Happy Fits.
Familiar? Yeah.
Yeah, I've loved them for years. I have all their vinyls upstairs. The song is called "She Wants Me to Be Loved." Definitely one of my favorites. This is such a good summer song. So,
Yeah, I've never heard it, so.
have you heard anything by them?
No.
Okay.
Which is kind of wild because I'm familiar with them because of you. But
Yeah, I've seen them like 3 or 4 times.
yeah, you've talked highly about them a few times.
But all right, yeah, let's spin it real quick and come back and see what you thought. All right. Yeah, that was "She Wants Me to Be Loved" by the Happy Fits.
I want to be on a beach listening to that. That was like classic, like driving down the beach.
The guitar.
Yeah.
Nin.
It has such a beachy vibe. I also love like the way he's saying like, "I'll pick you flowers while you count the hour." I was like just bobbing my head back and forth to the parts.
Such
like
an
that.
easy song to do that with.
Oh yeah, and I think my favorite part is like the quit moving, quit dancing when it comes back in. Yeah, I like that.
How many people do you think are in this band?
How many people?
Yeah,
I don't know if there's not as many as I think, or there's more. Than
I know. The question kind of.
I have no. I want to say 4.
It's a 3-piece band.
3-piece.
I feel like they have a
Minnesota.
lot of sound for a 3-piece.
From like the OO and stuff, I thought
Yeah.
that there would be more.
Yeah.
3-piece.
So Calvin, the guy that sings this song, plays cello. And dude, he fucking moves the entire. He's shown like how many calories he burns during a show because he's jumping around with it, like running around
With the cello?
Yeah,
That's
dude.
incredible.
So yeah, they used to be one of my favorite bands, and then their guitarist Ross left the band and/or was kicked out. Like they just removed him from all social media, took his name off everything. I don't know if it was a him or a them. It hasn't really come out, but it kind of seemed like Calvin was somewhat of like a control freak. Now this was all hearsay.
Right.
Like on the subreddit and stuff, but now I haven't really. They got 2 new people to join, and it's just not the same anymore.
So many bands are just having that, like, kicking a member out for something. Obviously,
Yeah.
in the hot political climate that we live in, that's bound to happen, but it could be for any reason.
And Ross, like the guy they kicked out, or he left, I don't know, but he sang like half their songs. This one's Calvin, but
Okay.
other songs he sang. So now they try to get like the people they brought in to sing those songs, and it is just not as good.
So were they 4 and now after Ross they're 3?
It was 3, now it's 4. It took 2 people to replace Ross.
Yeah, that's
after
okay. I see what you're saying.
they.
I mean, for a 3-piece, that's really well done.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
That
glad
was a good little bop, dude.
glad you enjoyed it.
I need to, yeah, there's a few bands that you're into that I just like Mount Joy was one of them where I just never, I've been getting more into them. Recently I've heard a few songs that have really tickled my brain the right way.
It's always harder when it's someone like you're trying to get into them for someone else almost.
I don't even know if I'd say for you. Our taste in music is very like comparable. It's hard.
Yeah.
I'm hard pressed to find a song you've showed me that I haven't liked.
Yeah.
So like when you are into a band, not even for you, but just like I should take a look at them a little more closely. The Happy Fits you've been talking about for years.
Yeah.
So,
I know Liz loves them too. Liz and I actually have seen them. So, but yeah, I think my days of seeing them are over. Unfortunately, I left the subreddit.
oh no.
I'm done.
Not
Well,
the subreddit.
Ross was like, or Calvin was like blocking comments and deleting Instagram comments, like all kinds of shit like that.
Yeah.
So,
Makes it harder to be a fan, like watching
Yeah.
that stuff go down. So, I mean, still good music.
yeah.
Whatever it was,
No,
I hope
I'm
it.
glad they created it,
Yeah.
you know, but especially like if you start off as a smaller indie band and then you start getting some fame, like I could see how that could add stress into the situation.
Oh
So,
yeah, and also unfortunately, fame can change people a bit. So
Oh yeah.
it's hard to say exactly what happened. Like all hearsay.
So I guess what did you have for me? I hope I don't already know it.
Do you know the band Quarters of Change?
No.
Sick. All right. I have a song called Kiwi.
Nice.
The song is called Kiwi. Dropped in 2022. I gave you the shorter New Music Friday one. This one is a tad bit longer. So,
Okay.
you want to rip it and we'll talk
Yeah.
about it.
Let's do it.
All right. That was Kiwi by Quarters of Change. Darren showed me that song.
Oh really?
And I'd heard it a few times with him and was kind of vibing to it. I think we were either on our way to the airport in Baltimore or on our way out of the Tampa airport when we landed. But it was kind of like the DJs and Porsches night where you were like, I never really thought about that song. And then it just hit different that night. It was hitting different that day.
and now
and-
it's different forever for you.
Oh, yeah. No, it's the amount of times I've played it since that trip is probably illegal.
Yeah.
I'm probably their biggest fan now
Really?
of just that song.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw they don't have like a ton of followers, but
No.
yeah, I liked it. The guitar is dreamy, you know. I like that.
The guitar, it reminds me of like the way Poppy plays guitar.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Especially during the solo.
Yeah.
But at the end it's super like
Yeah.
like the sustain on it is cool.
I think just like the sound of the guitar reminds me of like Poppy's sound of guitar.
Mm-hmm.
So, which I love. It's almost like there's some Eric Clapton-y type vibe to it.
Well, it's kind of that's a huge compliment.
Yes.
But it's kind of like makes me want to write a song with a 2-minute guitar solo now.
That
Like, there's
guitar
literally
solo-
a 2-minute guitar solo.
It's just it's like the payoff of like the slower build up, which I love the whole song, but
Yeah.
like the build up, it's like a payoff of like that guitar solo.
I think they should have maybe threw a little bass solo or even just like a little run or something. That's just me. I love.
It's hard for me to hear a song and think like that instrument would have fit. You
Yeah,
creating
that's
music
true.
can probably hear that better than me.
Well, and the bass was the first thing that like pulled me in, like in the beginning of the song.
Yeah.
I said guitar made me stank face. You know what the stank face is?
Yeah,
In the
dude.
beginning.
There's
As soon as I heard it, that made me fucking stank face.
it's mostly like rap and hip hop songs. Like if there's a disgusting beat, I
Yeah.
get like a stank face.
Mhm.
But yeah, I could picture I could picture someone doing that guitar solo with a stank face.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
like on stage.
Like John Mayer does that.
Yeah.
I put like the chorus. The drums are really sick. They switch up. I said it's almost like math rock, which is like hard to find the downbeat. It's hard to describe math rock, but you almost need a math degree to figure out like what time signature it's in, is what
Gotcha.
math rock is. But yeah, the drums in the chorus. I mean, I really think the drums add a lot to the song. Yeah, that was a cool song.
I don't know. Yeah, that song just hits different now.
Mm-hmm.
And thinking like, how did I hear this before and not get that same vibe? But there's just certain vibes and like atmospheres that like a song will hit different. And I
Mm-hmm.
think just like the emotion and excitement of the trip,
Yeah.
like hearing that song just blew me away. I mean, his taste in indie is top tier. So
Yeah. I know. I was going to say it was a little slow at first. It seemed a little slow. But then, like you said, like with the guitar solo,
it's like a payoff almost.
Yeah.
It's like you've earned the guitar solo by getting through, which I still love that part.
me too.
But
But the guitar solo is needed, I think.
without the guitar solo, I don't think I'd like the song as much.
Yeah.
So they complement each other well.
Cool. Well, thank you, Darren. You know we love you. All right. Moving on to Hidden Gem Highlight. What'd you have for this? And Hidden Gem Highlight is, you know, a band. I think of it as a band with under 1 million monthly listeners is kind of how I see it. So yeah, who did you?
Under how many?
1 million.
Oh, sick. All right. I have, and I've shown you this song a long time ago, but Thunderclatter by Wild Cub.
Oh yeah, McKay showed me that song.
Yeah, it was on. I heard it a few times on the Indie Sirius channel, which is where McKay would always pull a song and come
Yeah.
show us from, and then I would listen to that channel and I'd get songs from it as well.
Dude, the freaking toms in that song doom 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 doom
Yeah.
doom.
What the live version? He like the singer like they split it up and there's literally like a solo of him doing that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the
I need
live
to
version
watch
is like
that.
is extended and it's sick.
Yeah.
I this song hits home. I found it in 11th grade. I was going through some stuff, you know. At the time felt like the end of the world.
Yeah.
Insane to look back on now and think that that was like
The best thing that ever happened.
the end of the world for me, but the one thing I was looking forward to was watching late night TV, particularly Jimmy Fallon when he was actually funny. And he would like when before he was the Tonight Show, he'd have like smaller indie acts on, and they came on, and I was like blown away and obsessed immediately. And that song like carried my mental health on its back for a few weeks.
Did you check out anything else by them?
Color and Speak, which is
Okay.
coincidentally the second and third biggest song by them.
Yeah, I never really checked them out. I did see it was recently. I saw they came up on like my Instagram reels and they were trying to like get people to come see them and stuff, and they were using that song as like, hey, remember us?
The
that kind of thing.
Thunderclatter?
Yeah.
It's funny because, like, looking at their Spotify, Thunderclatter has 52 million listens, and then their next biggest song has 2 million.
Ugh.
And that's the only thing over a million. So
One hit wonder.
One hit wonder, unfortunately.
That would suck so fucking bad, honestly.
And honest, it sucks because that's how I felt. Like, listening to their other songs just wasn't
Yeah.
the same. And again, that song just came on at the right time in the right place. But I did try the rest of that album,
Yeah.
Youth, which is what Thunderclatter's from, and
It's like gray and white, or has like a white thing on it.
yeah, no, you're
Okay.
absolutely right. It's like two people laying down.
Oh, is that what it is?
But it is-
I
it
thought
is-
it was like a fucking buffalo or something.
Close. There could be a buffalo like out of frame. They're like the buffalo's taking the picture. Maybe.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
sure. But it is black and white, so good. That photographic memory, like I can picture kind of what an album looks like.
Yep.
But yeah, in my opinion, incredible song. One of my all-time
Oh,
favorites.
I love that song.
And you check out the live version if you like that drum part.
Yeah.
Yeah, the live version, it's not as atmospheric as the studio version,
Yeah,
which is
that's
what
okay.
captures a lot of my attention. But you know, I like a live version if it's done
Yeah.
well. So
Oh, me too. Yeah, mine is by a band called Air Traffic Controller. Now, this song I think has a decent number of listens, but the band in general does not. And the song is called Hurry Hurry. It's a little you have to get past. There's like a sound of like a track that's a little bit hard to get past, but once you get past it, like the words speak to me so much, like about rushing everything and like, but yeah, maybe check that out.
I've been thinking lately about like how life is moving so fast.
Yep.
Like it's just so hard to slow down and like capture moments because they're just gone in an instant.
Yeah.
320,000 monthly listeners, so not 7 million on the song.
Yeah.
That's still not a lot in the grand scheme of things.
It's just, I've known the song probably since the beginning of college, but I really like listened to it a couple weeks ago and the words just spoke to me. Like, just why are we rushing? You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
What's
like,
the hurry?
yeah.
I mean, for this album coming out in 2012, 7 million is not a lot.
Yeah.
So I would call that a hidden gem for sure. For 13 years.
Yeah. And the guy just has a good voice for it, for the song. So
They
yeah.
released an EP a week ago.
Oh, I didn't know
An
that.
acoustic EP, yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's still kicking.
You love to see that. I really do love to see that.
It's a 3-song acoustic little thing, but that's still sick nonetheless.
Because the only live I could find of that song was from like 12 years ago, I think.
Yeah, that
like
song
good
is
quality live.
It looks like they released an album called Dash in 2022, and that acoustics, it's called Dash Acoustic EP. So it's probably like 3
I
tracks
see.
from that acoustic.
Yeah.
Nothing, no singles or albums since 2022. So that's the first thing they've released
Oh,
in a
nice.
while.
I hope they're still making money off of it, honestly.
I'm sure they are. Maybe they're still touring just off of that music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll absolutely check that one out. Tying into Indian pop culture, for this one, we're just going to talk about indie songs that we've heard in movies or TV shows. Might keep this a regular segment because there's a lot to go through.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool as like a song that you think, because a lot of the indie songs, I feel I'm like, who else listens to this?
Yeah.
And then you hear it in like a show or a movie, and you're like, somebody brought this up to the producers or the director, and they're like, yeah, put this in the movie, or
Yeah.
the show. And you should have seen the look on my face. The movie Project Almanac. I don't know if you've seen it.
No.
It's one of those like handheld cam things.
Okay.
They like find a
Found footage movie.
that's
Yeah.
the word.
Yeah.
The shit that Cloverfield made. Super
Yep.
popular. Blair
Or
Witch
Blair
was like
Witch,
the first
yeah.
one. Yeah, but they find like a time travel kit, and they build like a time machine. But in the beginning of the movie, they're driving out of school and they're in the car, and Thunderclatter is playing on the radio.
Oh wow.
And I was
So did the movie come out in 2014
beside myself.
or like around then?
It came out around then. Yeah.
Okay.
It came out like 2015 maybe.
Okay.
I
nice.
watched it like 2016 or so. But like there's actually a couple indie songs in the movie if you ever choose to watch it. You're not it's not the best movie ever.
Yeah.
I like it just because of the indie and like the time travel elements, but he buys spoiler alert. He buys Lollapalooza passes on eBay like after Lollapalooza, so they're like $3 and then they time travel back to Lollapalooza and get like backstage.
Oh nice.
And the girl in the movie, the love interest, is the girl that's in the If So music video that I said might have been in Atlas Genius.
Yes.
Because in the movie, they go up on stage with Atlas Genius, who are actually performing at Lollapalooza.
Nice.
And so if you watch like a fan footage of Atlas Genius at Lollapalooza,
Yeah.
you could see them filming the movie behind Atlas Genius actually playing their set.
We should have asked them about that when we met them,
Oh, shit. Yeah, we should have.
but I fumbled that. So
That was the last thing I was thinking of at that time.
yeah.
You
me
were
too.
chatting Robert DeLong, so you
I
were.
know he was freaking so cool. Honestly,
They were all so cool. That was incredible. Never thought I'd actually get to meet them.
I know.
Um,
Yeah, we won't tell my story yet, but yeah, I'm still going through it. So
but yeah, dude, I was beside myself when that song came on.
that's so cool that they picked like them too. Like it's not like Atlas Genius was some huge band. I know
Yeah.
If So was a big song, but
Well, like in the scene of the movie, like they're dancing to like Radioactive by Imagine Dragons, because this is like Lollapalooza, I think 2013 or 14 when they filmed it.
yeah.
So like
okay.
it's like OG Imagine Dragons, and
Back before they were hated.
they like run over to where the sign is that tells you like which stages have which artists. You can see like Vampire Weekend and like Two Door Cinema Club, and I'm like looking at it like in their prime,
Yeah.
like 2014, like holy shit.
Damn.
That movie gives me the biggest like FOMO, I guess, or
Yeah.
I wanna. There's like a scene in the movie, Tongue Tied by Group Love is playing, and they're like doing all the classic like, she orders 1,000 pairs of clothes, and the one dude walks in and like buys like a Maserati and like dumps the cash on the counter, and
Nice.
it gives you one of those like, I wish I could like experience that kind of high.
Yeah.
But yeah, Thunderclatter's in that movie. Big shout out.
I guess for mine, it's a little bit of a cheat, but The In-Betweeners. I don't know if you ever watched that with Mark and I, the British show.
I watched it with Mark.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Their soundtracks are just full of indie songs.
Because it's a British TV
Yep.
show, right? Yeah, they do it. They
So
know
the,
what's
the
going
three I have, and I heard like the guitar to a Wombat song, and then I'm like, Liz, that is the Wombats. I'm telling you, and I looked it up, and it was. But they have Moving to New York by the Wombats, Fluorescent Adolescence by the Arctic Monkeys, and then Cuddle Fuddle by Passion Pit, which I've never heard
on.
that
I don't think
song.
I've heard Cuddle Fuddle.
And these were just three of the songs on like the soundtrack. Like,
I have
Wait.
to check out the Spotify playlist and see all the other ones that are in there.
yeah.
I'm not surprised. It being a British TV show, I'm not surprised because that's like all the big.
And they use like the Wombats guitar parts for like transition between scenes and stuff,
That's
like
sick.
all the time. So, but yeah, you definitely should check that show out. It's so
I remember watching it with them. I think we watched like the first season.
yeah,
It was also like 10 years ago, and
yeah. And
Sure.
we were probably
there's reasons I can't remember
yeah.
half of the show, but I remember just laughing my ass off with Mark. It was a funny show.
It still holds up too.
I had one more, and it was I've talked to you about the show Elementary, the Sherlock Holmes in modern day, but not the Benedict Cumberbatch one,
Yeah.
the better one that was on CBS. This isn't
There's no way.
This isn't a TV show podcast, but
Yeah, there's no way.
we'll talk about it. It's all right. Unpopular opinion,
Hounds of
but
Baskerville was a fucking amazing episode, dude.
that's fair. Anyway, I'll take the music in Elementary though all day, because the first episode, it like sets the scene of the episode. The girl gets murdered, whatever. And then Watson wakes up, hits her alarm, and it immediately cuts to Youngblood by The Naked and Famous.
Hits her alarm.
Watson is a chick.
Oh.
Played by Lucy Liu, incredible.
Okay, Lucy Liu. Okay.
Not Martin Freeman by any stretch, but she fits that show perfectly. She smacks her alarm and it immediately goes into Youngblood by Naked and Famous, and it's her like jogging around New York City. Sets the fucking tone perfect.
Oh yeah.
For the show. There are other good indie songs, not as big as that one, I would say. But I've taken so many songs from that show. Like,
really?
More like indie folk that they played,
Dude,
like the end of the
love
episode
that
when
song.
Sherlock is sad or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, like hearing that was like, this is my new favorite show. And it now is my favorite show. But
she's a babe too.
She's incredible in that show.
All right. I guess last but not least, we got album of the month. Doesn't necessarily need to come out this month, obviously. Just something you've been listening to recently. And I guess I'll go first.
Yeah, you take this one.
And it kind of ties into my last one, but for me, it's got to be Glitterbug by the Wombats.
We've got to talk about that at some point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But they're coming to Pittsburgh. So like after I saw that, I just started listening to it again. And dude, like it has so many good songs. Like 4 in a row. Emoticons, Give Me a Try, Greek Tragedy, and Curveballs.
That's an incredible 4-track run.
And I think it's the first 4. Like
I like big shout out to Be My Shadow, which is another song that I really like.
Curveballs is underrated. That song is awesome.
Yeah, that whole album, like that's one of the ones I can drop and just listen to the whole thing and not really even think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Your Body is a Weapon, another great one.
Oh yeah, that's how I learned that there's 5.5 liters of blood in the human body.
Seeing them at All Things Go was like, they were special live. They were one of my favorite parts of that whole day.
Oh, me too.
I'm trying to think of. I think you showed me Greek Tragedy in high school.
So long ago.
I'm pretty sure that's how I found them. Not surprisingly that you showed me them.
I didn't even know what ecstasy was when I first heard that song. I feel like
I had an idea, I guess.
Yeah.
I've talked to you about the one that they recorded in like a church studio.
Mm-hmm.
Is my favorite anything that they've done. They do Greek Tragedy in like not knowing that like the one, I think it might be the bassist or someone is like humming that part. You know the part I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's like humming either with it or that's actually him humming it. But yeah, but if you haven't watched that or at least recently, watch that one.
I haven't recently. I think you sent that to me like forever ago.
I 100% did.
Or maybe
the acoustics in the church studio like it gives the song like there's another, again, atmospheric element to the song that's like not in the studio version. Did they play that at All Things Go?
I thought they did. They didn't play much from that album. I actually found more songs from them playing that day than I knew.
They played Tokyo.
Yeah.
I fucking love that song.
Mm-hmm.
And they like did like a little interlude to it and then just dropped into it. I thought I had a video of it, but I don't anymore. But
I'd be able to find it.
Yeah, incredible song. I'll have to look and see. But yeah, great shout. That's one of the ones I'd be happy to talk about like on a full length one day.
We definitely should.
It's a longer album too.
Yeah. There's only a couple weak ones on there. I won't spoil it for you.
It's all right. Well, the subreddit will let us know.
Oh, yeah. They're all S's. Every song is an S on the
album. Thank you.
Yeah.
I have Live Drugs Again by The War on Drugs. It's a live album, so it's not like just a regular studio one. In 2020, they dropped Live Drugs, which was just recorded from like their recent tours of the past 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love the fact that they just dropped another one this year called Live Drugs Again. and some of their some of the couple songs
Are the same.
are the same,
Yeah.
but like different because they're from different tours, and it's
Yeah.
cool to hear like the different sound of the same song 2 years spread apart. They also added to Live Drugs again. They added songs from their most recent album, I Don't Live Here Anymore,
Mm-hmm.
which is, I think they're one of the most underrated bands of the modern age. I have nothing but they're probably in my top 5 all-time bands.
See, that's like a band for me that I know you love, but I just haven't.
I showed
Like-
you them in like 2018. You texted me and you said, I almost fell asleep listening to this album. And I'm still hurt to this day.
Come on, that was a different person.
That's
then.
that's fair. That's fair. But in contrast to what I said earlier in the episode, all of their songs, or not all of them, but most of them are like 7-minute, like drawn out. I fucking love that.
Yeah,
Like, and
but like, how many monthly listeners do they have? Because
1.9 million.
okay,
That's a fucking lower than it should be.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
See-
I think they're horribly underrated.
but like, would you rather them be like as big as 21 Pilots
Mm,
and everyone know them and like for
yeah.
them, would you rather have that?
I guess they're not like they are. I feel like they have a certain. I don't want to say like a certain fan base. They definitely have like a vintage sound.
Yeah. Well,
Especially when you watch like their studio sessions, like the live stuff. It's just they're very like raw. They don't really add any effects to them. It's just playing it's like how it used to be, like
Yeah.
classic rock bands. He has a very Dylan-y voice, like kind of nasally, but it fits the aesthetic of the songs.
yeah. Well, just being honest, like because I got you that shirt of theirs.
Don't be honest, lie to me, please.
I got you that shirt of theirs
Mhm.
for your birthday, and I just their website and everything about it, even up to the prices, it seemed like they have a very loyal, dedicated fan base.
Yes, their subreddit is very, very like it's not popping like other
Yeah.
subreddits, but everybody in there is very like in touch with like their sound and the message they're trying to come across, and
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of like deep talks, and the band members do a lot of production for other artists as well, so
nice.
they're always tied into other projects, which I think is amazing, to not only play in this band but to produce for other artists and like
Yeah.
jump on different tracks.
But yeah, even like that shirt was twice as much as the Passion Pit shirt. You know?
It's for me, it's worth every penny. They came to the Anthem in 2021, and I didn't go because I had no one to go with. And I regret that so much. Like after
That
seeing
venue
Porter
was so
Robinson by
sick
myself, yeah, seeing them there would have been incredible, especially after this album, because I love
Mhm.
this album. I hate that I didn't, because I was like, I don't want to go to a concert alone, and then
Yeah.
I just went to see Porter Robinson alone, and I was kind of hyped to see like, because if you go with somebody, I didn't know anyone else that was into them. Same with Porter Robinson. So if I go with somebody else, I'm kind of hoping that they're gonna like find something. It was nice to not worry about somebody I'm with being entertained,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was just there by myself, like, and they're still going strong, so they'll be coming back around.
Yeah. I was gonna ask if they tour a lot.
They toured recently, but they were like with someone. I don't think they weren't opening. I think there was just like a joint tour.
Okay.
So they did like a 10-song set.
Okay. Co-headliner kind of thing.
Great set list.
Yeah.
I don't know if they came around here though. I think they came to like maybe Ohio or something.
Okay.
They didn't come locally.
Yeah, I need to check them out. I think Sonny really loves them too.
Sonny
So-
strikes me as the kind of guy that would love them, and that's why I like Sonny.
He showed me Neutral Milk, and now I've like branched that out to know.
Yeah.
But
I think they are horribly underrated. Harmonia's Dream is a song from their most recent album. It's on this Live Drugs Again album. There's a 9-minute version on YouTube of them playing in like, I'm sending it to you. You're listening to it. I don't give a shit. It's incredible. Harmonia's Dream, and I'm not exaggerating, is one of the best songs I've ever heard.
I
Like, ever
have a
created.
song by them. I'm pretty sure. See, to me, I think the song. Let me look.
Under the Pressure is pretty popular. It's like one of their more popular ones.
No, it's Holding On. Holding On is the one.
Holding
I
On
have.
was in.
I think you told me to download it, so I did.
No, I think Holding On was in FIFA.
Was it?
It was in a video game.
Oh, yeah, but it came out in 2017.
Yeah.
Um,
It's impossible for me to pick which album I like the most because they're all three.
I mean, underrated, but they have like at least 10 songs with like over 20 million listens, you know?
I still think they're underrated.
Yeah.
I think they should be.
In terms of the public and stuff.
This
like,
is my opinion. Like,
yeah.
obviously, I get that they're big in their own way.
They're not
but
starving. Like,
no,
you know?
not by any means. And then from this Live Jugs again, In Chains is one of my favorite songs by them, and the version on this live album, it just blows me away every time. Yeah, I would love for you, like, give them another shot. I'll point you in the right
You
direction.
just can't give me like a 30-minute song. Like,
No. 9 minutes is the most I think I have. There's a Under the Pressure on the first Live Jugs, I think is like 12 minutes. I won't be sending you that.
just send me the original.
Excuse me.
It has to be digestible.
Yeah, you start with the studio ones for sure.
Yeah.
But like I love seeing the way they work like in a live studio session. It's incredible to watch like how, because in the Harmonious Dream one, there's a lot of people in there playing.
Really?
But it's just incredible watching them put it all together. And the lead singer, who's like the lead guitarist, it's breathtaking and watch him do his thing.
Really?
And he's not what I thought he looked like when I first listened to them.
Really? Well,
But he's like a true like he just hits me as like a true like musician.
well, okay. You could tell me this is wrong, because I only know one song from each of these bands. It kind of reminds me of Arcade Fire in a way. At least that song I know by them. Something about it reminds me of.
No,
Arcade
I know
Fire.
where you're coming from. I'm not going to tell you you're completely wrong. Not for me, but Holding On, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And there's a couple other songs that I'm thinking of. I'm like, yeah, I could see where you're putting that connection together.
Mm-hmm.
You might as well stop me now, but they're one of a kind for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll share with you a couple. But the War on Drugs also, when I'm going through some things, carry me. Like, their songs are just, there's one, I'll send you some songs, but
Okay.
they're incredible. And this album, like this most recent one, they just don't miss for me. So,
I'll check it out, buddy.
Live Jugs again.
All right.
Good stuff, man. Hey guys, thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed some of the content that we shared with you today. Tune in next time for an in-depth look at another one of our favorite albums.
Be sure to check out our socials in the description, and we'll see you in the next one.